the sun is shining bright. A brand new day, God's gift of light. Grab your coffee, lift your heart and see. It's time for daily devotions with Dee. Big Mama Radio, we're starting our day with hope and love to light the way. From sunrise to blessings you'll see. It's daily devotions with Dee. Scripture and song to start your soul. Joy and peace will make you whole. Every word's a seed to set you free. That's daily devotions with Dee. When life gets heavy, don't lose your way. Tune your heart to faith each day. God's grace flows like a melody. Right here on Big Mama Radio with Dee. Lift your hands and sing with glee. It's daily devotions with Dee. Faith in your heart, joy in your stride. Big Mama Radio, God by your side. You're listening to Daily Devotions with Dee, where every morning starts with his word and a whole lot of love.
Good morning. I don't think our app is working right now. I'm going to make sure that we've got everything going. I don't know what's going on with the app this morning. I did just get a text message that everything was switched back over. So I'm not sure. That's not something that I can handle. I don't know why it would do that, but we'll get it fixed out. We'll get it fixed. Okay. We'll get it fixed today. Let me see. Yeah, it's not even playing me right now. Well, that's not good. Well, I guess it's a crazy Tuesday. I was going to say Monday, but it's definitely not a manic Monday. We'll get the app figured out. Right now, it's currently playing the old music, the old station. We'll get it figured out. Trust, we will. So right now, I guess you're not hearing me on the app. Maybe you are. Maybe it's switched over. It didn't play my intro music over there, though. I already checked that. I don't know. We'll work out the bugs. It says that I'm on air and I'm getting waves. So we'll see. If you're on the app, pop over to, if you could, to Facebook, YouTube, one of the other streaming services, and let me know, because my phone's not playing it. I'm not sure, but you know what? It's Monday. Listen, my printer's still not working. I was trying to get stuff to print out. It's just one of those days. It really is. It's one of those days that just nothing wants to work, but that's okay. We're going to make it work today. If I have to read off of my computer, which I did not want to this morning, but let's try it one more time. Let's try it. Oh, it likes me now. See, it must be you guys because it was not working. Sorry, it's going to be loud because you're going to hear my printer. I try to get all this done, guys, before I even came on here. So good morning. Happy Tuesday. It feels like it's more of a Monday for me just because nothing wanted to work. If you're joining us and you are on the app, I'm not sure. The app was kind of a little wonky this morning. You guys got to understand that we switched everything over as far as music goes, but we also switched everything. Good morning, Victoria. We also switched everything over to here at my house. So Everything was working great last night. Even me popping on, we were on the app and everything was working out well. So I don't know what happened. Listen, some things are out of our control, and that's just what we're going to do. Is we're going to just say, "Okay, God, you've got it today. I don't know what more I can do, but I'm going to trust that you're going to fix this." Let me grab these guys. So I'm kind of nervous that I'm thinking that I've got some background music, but I bet you it won't even work because something's not going up. Let's just test it out and let's just hope for the best. Oh. Let me turn volumes down. I don't need that to overpower me. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not. I don't know. Let me know if you guys can hear some background music in the background because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh boy, did I lose everything? I tried to print stuff out and just I'm telling you. All right, so let's just start today because no more talking. I'm over here just going. So I want to start out with prayer. This was something that was very near and dear to me. So when Jason, Big Mama, and I were talking, I'm like, you know what? I want to pray every single day. I think it's a good thing. And funny enough that my very good friend, she's in the chat, Victoria, sent me a prayer that is a prayer for new beginnings. And guess what? Today is new beginnings. And well, it's new beginnings for everything because nothing is working today. So we're just going to let it go. At this point, I'm going to let it go. If it works, it works. If we can get it going, we'll get it going. But this is a prayer for new beginnings. Dear God, thank you for your guidance and your care throughout my life. Thank you for being with me every season of my life. Father, I'm about to embark on a new journey in my life, and as it is now, I have no idea what the outcome of this is going to be, but you do. So I pray that you order my steps and direct my path. Teach me the right way to go about things. Give me the strength and courage I need to pursue this new chapter of my life. Help me not to dwell on my past and instead to focus on your word and what you have in store for me. Calm my anxious mind so I don't worry about what the future holds for me. Thank you for doing something new in my life and for giving me courage to move forward. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. So if you're going through some new beginnings, and it could be anything. Listen, it doesn't have to be something like this. It could be anything in life that is just a new beginning. I hope and I pray that it goes well for you. And we're going to do it together, right? So if you're on any of our streaming platforms, I see I've got some people on. Please let me know in the chat if everything sounds good. I don't know why this output is going. I don't know if I want that up. Maybe I do. Sure. Something's just wonky. I don't know why that's up today. Let me know. Actually, I might just pop over on there, guys. I know this is, like I said, today is going to be... Dylan, I don't know why you would say that. I don't know why. Why would you say that? Everybody should be here. Let me make sure that Facebook, I'm assuming it sounds good because you guys are commenting. I would hope that if it sounded horrible, you'd be like, hey, I think you need to stop for a second, figure that out. But we're going to double check because I'm nervous. Thank you, Alice. Good morning. Everything sounds good on here. Okay. Can you guys hear that little background music? Hopefully you guys can. Oh, maybe I should turn that down. That sounds good to me. Okay. Perfect. Well, good. We're good to go. But listen, we're not going to change everything. We're going to, do a couple things a little bit different. That's okay, Dylan. Listen, there's a lot of us that are vulgar and offensive. That doesn't mean that you can't be here. You just have to tone it down a little bit. That's all. That's all. I'll still tell some funny stories. But changes are good. Changes are not good for everybody at certain times, right? Everyone's in a season of life. I feel like I have to move you guys over here because I'm not looking at you because I'm trying to read your comments. Or I can do this. Let's work smarter, not harder over here. Um, Everyone goes through changes in lives and seasons. And right now just might not be the season that you are in the same space as everyone. And maybe you are, or maybe you're learning, and it's okay. We're all growing together. You can't go through life without growing and changing. So we'll get back into some things because I'm not going to give up on birthdays. Okay. We have to celebrate birthdays, right? That's not going to change. So today is John Mellencamp. He is your rock singer. He turns 74. He is known for his hits Hurt So Bad, Jack and Diane, one of my favorites, Crumbling Down, Pink Houses, Lonely Old Night, and many, many more. Dylan Baker, an actor, 67 today. He gained, I don't know any of these, so sorry. But he gained his recognition for his roles in the film Happiness and on the TV show The Good Wife. He turned 67 today. Good old Simon Cowell, who Dylan used to be very, if you'd remember, a little bit of a hard you-know-what. And now he is very soft. So change can happen. He turned 66 today. He is obviously he's judged on British's TV talent competition series, Pop Idol, The X Factor, and Britain's Got Talent. And of course, you know him probably most for American Idol, but I believe he was also, wasn't he the founder? No. Was he the founder of American Idol? No, he was not, right? I've got that completely wrong. Don't listen to me. Oh, wait. Yes, he was. American Idol. He was just a judge, though. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up because I can't remember. Good morning, Josh. Well, Dylan, I don't know. That's a big mama question. I don't think there's going to be no dark sides anymore. Anyways, sorry. Toni Braxton today turns 58. She sold over 67 million records worldwide, including 41 million albums. She is one of the highest selling female R&B artists in history. And Taylor Hicks' birthday's today. He's 49. If you don't remember him, it's okay. He was on the 5th season. I don't even know what season we're on because I don't watch American Idol that much anymore. But he was on the 5th season of American Idol. And he won the 5th season. He started his professional music career in his late teens and performed around the southeastern United States for well over the span of a decade. He released 2 independent albums as well. All right, guys, here's some things that you need to know today. If you are feeling lucky and you play the lottery, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is at $547 million. You heard that right. I guess I got to go buy my ticket today. And just so you know, here are last night's winning Powerball numbers. If you win because I gave them to you and you learned it on here, you have to at least give me like just a percentage. $1 million will be fine. Okay? Because the jackpot was $207 million. So I'll take just $1 million. That'll be chump change to you. So the winning numbers last night were 28, 29, 32, 66, 67. Man, they got 2 numbers that were consecutive. And the Powerball was 3. Power Play was 2. So if you won, like I said, you owe me $1 million. Okay? That's nothing to your winnings of a total of 207. I'm sure it's going to be a lot less than that. With taxes, but still $1 million will be nothing. Oh, yesterday, senators failed to strike a funding deal for the 5th time, guaranteeing that the government shutdown will drag on even longer. Oh, Victoria, you in that 60s. I didn't even think about that until you brought that up. Oh, the Senate shot down dueling bills authored by Republicans and Democrats. There's still no surefire end in sight to this fiscal crisis, which has shuttered I can't even talk today. But it is shut down quite a few federal agencies and services around the country. So there you go. There is no end to our government. I want to play something, but I don't know. I don't remember any of these background musics, guys. Hold on. Let me figure this out. Nope, don't want that. Nope, don't want that. I don't want that either. I need to go through some of this. Where are we at? We don't want shower thoughts. We lost a lot. Well, I'm just going to have to go with some of these because That's all I got. Oh, I lost my screen. I know, Josh. It's getting a little. I was listening to a little bit of Jason's morning show this morning, and it's just to the point where we need to just figure this out. Like, we're not going to get anywhere sitting fighting back and forth and having, this government every year. This government shutdown is just, it feels like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it won't stop. We will talk more about sports, guys. I love sports. You can probably see we are still in the works of my husband. If I can ever get him to give me some time to sit down, actually talk sports. But we do want to get our sports podcast up and running. But for those that are my sports fans, we're going to hit just a couple little highlights, really just two, because there was only one major game last night. There should have been more, and I'll check on those. But Travis Kelce has etched his name into Kansas City Chiefs history books once more after becoming the franchise's new all-time leader in all-purpose yards. Just minutes into their game last night against the Jaguars, which, by the way, they lost. You heard that right. They lost the Jaguars last night. Kelce recorded 2 catches for 15 yards on the Chiefs' opening drive, taking him to 12,357 career all-purpose yards based on rushing, receiving, and all forms of returns. Travis surpassed Dante Hall's previous record of 12,356, so just 1 yard. He has set the most franchise hit records during his iconic spell in Kansas City, including for receiving touchdowns, 77, receiving yards, 12,151, playoff receiving touchdowns, 20, and playoff receptions, and also playoff receiving yards. And again, like I said last night, Jaguars beat the Chiefs 31-28. 31-28. I did not expect that. I did not stay. Well, I was up, but I was not watching that game. I'm not a Chiefs fan. Sorry. They're static. I'm thinking it's coming from here. The voice is distorted. Now, why did it distort? Hold on. How about now? We got to work through some bugs, guys. Work with me. I promise we'll get there better. Better. Okay. So it's coming from that. I'll fix that. We just won't have any background music. I'm sorry. Until I figure this out. We'll get there. We'll get there. And just so you guys know, Donald Trump called for the NFL's decision to give Super Bowl halftime show to rapper Bad Bunny crazy. Quote, crazy. The president told Newsmax that he was unfamiliar with the musician, but that the NFL was wrong to give him the prestigious gig given his previously stated dislike for Trump and immigration and customs enforcements. Quote, I've never heard of him. I don't know who he is. I don't know why they're doing it. It's like crazy, the president said. He also felt that the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, boo, was blaming the decision on some promoter they hired. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, he quoted, before tracking on his long-held complaint that the league's new kickoff rules are ruining the sport. I wasn't going to get into sports. You sound like a demon. Oh. Is it better now? So it was before when I had the music on that I sounded very bad. I'm going to make a note of that because I'll have to fix that later today. Ooh. Like, I have notes, okay? There's things that's got to be changed. So, but it sounds better now, Victoria? Sound. Okay, good. Thank you. Was it like that the whole time? Or did it just come in? Because I was playing that background music for a little bit. Okay. I'll figure it out. I'll go back and watch it and kind of look at it. But I wasn't going to get into sports right now. But let's get into it. If you watch sports, and heavily my family, especially, with my husband coaching football. Football's pretty big with us. And what I don't get is they have that new kickoff rule that is in the NFL, right? And it's supposed to be safer. And basically, if you're not familiar, kickoffs used to be, you had your receiving team. Well, it doesn't matter what side they're on. Receiving team and your kicking team. The receiving team's here, the kicking team, once the ball was kicked, both teams went, and met in the middle. Somebody got the ball, but they all met in the middle, right? And you had a receiver way at the very end zone, and they were bringing the ball up, but both teams were right here. Now they've stopped it to where the kicking team advances the ball, right? They kick it. But your receiving team, the line, just stays put until the ball's catched and it's brought into play. But they've done this for the NFL, which it looks funny, okay? When you watch a game and it starts, it looks absolutely ridiculous. You've got all these players just standing while the ball's kicked, and they wait until it's received, and then they go. Well, they say that they did this for safety concerns, but yet youth, high school, college do not follow this rule. Why would we not be putting it towards the younger generation versus the pros? Not saying the pros don't deserve it, but I'm just saying we're kind of a little backwards. So I do have to agree with President Trump on that one. That is ridiculous. And I'm wholeheartedly with him on that. The new kickoff rule is ruining the sport, absolutely ruining it. So anyways, moving on, because you know me, I will sit here and I'll talk sports all day long with you guys. And that's not what we're going to do first thing this morning. We will talk some sports though later on today, because I've got to. Even though I really already gave you the biggest headline, and that was that the Kansas City Chiefs lost last night. They lost. I woke up and saw that and I was like, what? The Kansas City Chiefs lost? There's no way. To the Jaguars? No offense to my Jaguar fans. Listen, it's a Florida team. It's Jacksonville. I love Florida teams. Being a Florida native now is what I'm going to call myself. I'm Florida native. I belong here. I am just shocked. Absolutely shocked. But anyways, here is some words of wisdom for you today. And this is very fitting to my day today. Life is like a roller coaster. You can either scream every time there is a bump, or you can throw your hands up and enjoy the ride. And I think today I'm doing a very good job of just throwing my hands up and enjoying that ride, because everything could go wrong this morning is going wrong, but it's okay. You guys are here with me. I do have a great cup of coffee. I will say I made a great cup of coffee this morning. So I'm good. Whatever other challenges come today, it can just be thrown my way, because I feel like we're going to be okay. If you didn't hear, are you guys ready? I think I'm pretty excited. It is a Tuesday, which traditionally in this house we yell Taco Tuesday. And it's even better because today is National Taco Day. So on this food holiday, we honor the endless, versatile, and delicious the endlessly versatile, there we go, and delicious taco. From the crunch of the hard shell to the softness of a warm corn tortilla. Tortilla? Did I say that right? The taco is a perfect food for any occasion, ready to be filled with incredible variety. Who wrote this? Anyways, today is National Taco Tuesday. National Taco Day. I mean, it is Tuesday. So here are some deals for you. Taco Bell reward members can snag $1 Cantina chicken soft tacos, score $5 off party packs, and even win prizes in timed app drops. So it looks like you have to have the app for that one. Where am I at? You could have the chance to win a free Taco Tuesday for a year. They also revived the Taco Latte dessert collab with salt and straw and ice cream taco dipped in chocolate. That sounds great. I think that's where I'm going to go and just get one of those. I'm going to break the diet and not care. There are some other chains that are offering specials today. Abuelos. I've never heard of them. I don't know if we have any around here locally in Southwest Florida, but they might be around you. They have $1 add-on tacos. Baja Fresh, $5 off $10 with the order. $5 off $10 or more orders with code TACO. Del Taco, you have a free taco with $10 purchase. El Polo Loco, three chicken tacos for $5. Moe's has $2 tacos. Where's some other ones that are closed? Twin Peaks has $2 tacos and $6 margaritas. So for those who want a little drink with it. And Zaxby's as a free chicken taco with $1 purchase. But that's limited. Today is also National Inner Beauty Day. The day focuses on raising awareness and supporting victims of human trafficking. Everyone has a story, a passion that expresses who we are as individuals. Our strength lies in embracing that story without filtering it through someone else's definition of beauty. When our core values reflect on the outside, we have given the world the gift we were born to give, which I think is pretty, wow, it printed twice, so I'm missing something. But anyways, we'll just go with the flow. But there you go. So make sure you go and get some tacos today and buy your lottery tickets. And like I said, if you won last night's, you owe me $1 million, especially if you heard the winning numbers here this morning. So I know that things are been a little bit, different this morning, and I'm still getting used to a flow. So you guys got to work with me. We're still trying to work all the bugs out on everything on this end. But we'll get there. It's going to be a work in progress. And I know that for the most part, everything that I have heard about the station switchover, you guys are loving it, which I am so ecstatic for. And I know that Big Mama is as well. Obviously, this switch is nothing more than this is just what is near and dear to not only his heart, but mine as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope that you guys stick around. I hope that you guys interact more. And like I said, we will get all the little bugs and quirks worked out. Just give us some time. I will make sure that I bring you guys a good show every single day. If you guys have any things that you want to talk about, please make sure you can either message them on the Big Mama Radio page, Facebook page. You can, I'm sure you guys, most of you know my actual personal Facebook page. You are more than welcome to go send them over there, but make sure you guys send them in. Let me know what you guys want in the morning, what you're liking, what you're disliking. Listen, I can take constructive criticism, and I'm not going to go and cry in a corner. I want to know what you guys want to hear. Obviously we're switching some things, but not everything's going to change, right? And like I said earlier, sometimes change is good. Okay. Not all of it is bad. That's not the screen that I want. So we just have to work together, right? And we'll get there and it'll be good. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. So have you ever wanted a $120 Bloody Mary? Well, Claudio's Waterfront in Greenport, Louisiana is making waves with its $120 Captain Claudio's Bloody Mary. It's topped with a whole one pound, over a pound of Maine lobster. I will, Victoria. 8 shrimp, bacon strips, olives, celery, and jalapenos. The cocktail went viral on TikTok and Instagram, pulling in millions of views and driving customers in to order 20 to 25 a week. I think we're doing something wrong. I think I'm going to open up just a Bloody Mary. This window, it's going to turn into a window where you can just walk right up and you get yourself a $120 Bloody Mary. Because I wonder how much this costs to make. Because they're making 20 to 25 a week. While fans call it a must-try experience and a photo op dream, critics aren't so sure. Some say lobster doesn't belong in a drink. I'm not a Bloody Mary fan, so I can't say. Just saying. Still, Claudio's isn't worried about imitators, claiming the pricey concoction takes too much love and lobster to copy. Well, they just answered my whole question. You're pulling up Girl, the dogs are out. The dogs are in the house. If you are you pulling up here for my I thought you said you were pulling up like right now for my Bloody Mary. Do you like Bloody Marys? I've never, I can't say I don't like them because I've never even had one. It's just the idea of vodka and tomato juice together just it doesn't sit with me. I'll drink coffee instead. I'll drink coffee. I don't think that's, yeah, I've never had one. Maybe if I had one that was made good, maybe, I don't know. I really, it just, I'm not a, like, I don't know. Tomato juice doesn't sound right. My dad used to drink was it Clamatos, the beer and the Clamato juice. I can't do it. See, I'm the same way. I don't like, so listen, I'm weird. I will eat ketchup on my hot dogs, my hamburgers, with fries, the normal things, right? But a tomato, forget about it. I can't do the texture. I can't. There's something about the texture with tomatoes I can't do. But since this is a juice, like I don't know. Maybe I'll try one, okay? Maybe this weekend I will try one. I'll go somewhere, I'll try one, and I'll let you know if I like it. My stomach's already curling. I don't think I will like it. Just the thought of tomato juice and a cocktail alcoholic drink just does not sound right. So, in other news, let's go a different way. A man dies after surgery to look like feline, as doctor turns out to be a dentist. First off, they were going to go and get a surgery to look like a feline. You heard that right. But they went to a doctor that turned out to be a dentist. Brazilian fashion stylist Adar, I'm not even going to say his whole name, known as Junior Duda, died after suffering complications from a fox eye cosmetic thread lift he underwent 7 months ago. The treatment used some sort of polydoxone threads under the skin to pull the brow up for more of a feline look. The 30-year-old who had more than 122,000 Instagram followers developed a painful infection that left his face bruised and swollen, and he accused the man who performed the procedure of falsely posing as a facial surgery specialist while actually being a dentist. You hear that? Goodness gracious. He filed a lawsuit alleging medical fraud and serious harm, claiming the operator refused to provide proper records. Would that be your number one flag? If you go into a doctor's office and you're like, hey, can I, usually you walk into a doctor's office and you see their credentials hanging up on the wall, where they went to school, all these things. If you don't see that, or you see something, meow, you see something that says dentist, and you're here for a facial surgery that's not including your mouth at all, wouldn't that be a huge red flag? And then if you ask them their credentials and they won't show you, you're just going to say, oh, well, let's go ahead and do this. We got to use our brains more. Anyways, the practitioner insisted the PDO threads used were safe and biodegradable, denying responsibility for the infection. Though his exact cause of death has not yet been confirmed, experts warn that the fox eye lifts can cause serious risks such as infection, tissue damage, unnatural expressions, and even difficulty blinking. Wow. So we don't even know if he really has, died from complications of this surgery, but nonetheless, I guess your moral of the story is make sure that you check out who you're going to go to get a cosmetic surgery, if that is so what you would like to do in life, and making sure they're not a dentist. Yes, Leanne, dental surgery is completely different from a dentist, and I would know this firsthand because my son, Colin, who is 16, he'll be 17 in 2 months, actually. Oh my gosh. Talk about time flying. Kids growing up fast, but he has to have his wisdom teeth taken out. And then he has a tooth that just quite won't come down all the way. And I'd really like for him to get his braces off for his senior year of high school, which is next year. So he actually has to have that tooth exposed and all the fun stuff. But yeah, his dentist is like, I don't do that. You have to go here. And then that is a whole nother experience because boy, oh boy, is dental surgery expensive. Okay. Make sure you have good dental insurance because I found out the hard way that I don't have good dental insurance. And pretty much, I mean, I could probably take him to somebody that's in network. It's just, and let's not even get into the insurance bit because I'm so fed up with insurance and the fact that I have to take him to somebody in network. There's only one person in network, and that's not who his dentist referred him to. It's like, can we all work together? Because I'm sorry, I just want to get my kid's wisdom teeth taken out, get this one tooth, down enough and everything. And really, Katie, I asked the lady yesterday, I'm like, what's the best? She was like, well, the ones we work with is like MetLife, I think was one of the best ones. And then I was like, oh, let me see if I can go purchase a plan. Well, and then, me not thinking, and I knew this as an adult and I was trying to explain it to my son. I was like, well, if I buy dental insurance, if I buy a private plan, most of them, if not all of them, either have a 6-month or a 12-month waiting period, especially on oral surgery. So I'm screwed. I'm screwed either way. I have to pay it out of pocket or I have to wait. Good morning, Selena. I either have to wait. But yeah, so this guy apparently in the story was just a regular dentist. It doesn't say that he was an oral surgeon or anything. But either way, he was performing facial cosmetic surgery. So moral of the story is make sure that you check when you go and you have procedures done, whether it doesn't matter what kind of procedure it is. Make sure that your provider is well qualified to do that. But I know that Elena had said the things that people do for cosmetic. Listen, I agree. I wish people could learn to love themselves. I have a hard time with that. There is one thing that I want to have done, but it's more, it's cosmetic. It's not so much cosmetic, but it is medically necessary for myself because of the pain. But either way, I'm doing it to relieve something in my life and with my body. And there's so many that are doing things that are not for that are just like, I don't like this little bump on my nose and I'm going to go have that bump shaved down. It's like, embrace it, right? Embrace it. There are plenty of people that have learned to embrace things and when I say plenty of people, I'm talking about influential people that we see every day, whether they're models, actors, actresses, and a lot of them embrace their flaws. And I feel like that's good. That's what we need to do. Embrace your flaws. It's okay. We all have them. Not every one of us is quote unquote perfect in our own eyes, but we were made perfectly, right? That's the way it's supposed to be. So that one I'm not going to read. Here we go. Did I not just tell you guys to go buy your lotto tickets because it's like $400 and some odd million? A week-long illness leads to a $100,000 lottery prize. A Cooper County woman in Missouri recovering from a week of being sick at home decided she needed to get out and ended up winning $100,000. She stopped at a Murphy oil station in Boonville for a soda and bought a triple cash crossword scratch. Say that 5 times quick. A triple cash crossword scratch off ticket, uncovering the top prize. Still in disbelief, she had checked at another store where even the clerk was stunned. So if you're not feeling well, get yourself out and go buy a scratch off, and hopefully you win some money just like this lady did, because I think we could all use a little extra cash, especially nowadays. And a fed up employee brought a microwave to work and put a lock on it. A shuttle driver, fed up with constantly broken break room microwaves, decided to buy his own and put a lock on it to keep coworkers from using it. Posting on Reddit's MIV April 4th, he explained that 20 drivers
coworkers share one microwave, and when he asked colleagues to split the cost of another, no one wanted to chip in. So, as petty as he could be, he bought his own and locked it to prevent overuse and damage. While many commenters agree he wasn't wrong, they warn the move could make him unpopular at work. Some said he was justified since coworkers refused to help, while others noted it might not win him any friends. Listen, that'd be me. If I was that guy, that would be me. Listen, we've all worked in businesses or, in companies and corporations where you have a lot of employees. And to be frank, a lot of times people are very gross and they don't clean up after themselves. And the fact that nobody would split it, what are microwaves? Like, you could probably get a microwave for what, like, at the most $100. It's very static. Hold, please.
Maybe it's better now.
Now I can't hear myself though.
Maybe now. We're working through the bugs. We're working through it. There's a couple things that I've got to work on today with this, with Big Mama's help. But just know you have mail. Okay, well, guys, I guess I have to go take a quick little break because my dogs are going to go crazy. So when I do this, I'm going to pull up music back on the app. I'm not sure if I'm on the app. The app looks a little funkity-dunkity right now. We're going to figure it out. But you'll have some background music over here. It's better. Okay. Oh, see, there, you hear Chloe. I will be right back, but she just walked right in. She don't even care. This little girl don't even care. And Chloe don't care. She loves you. Thank you. Are you going to school? Okay. Thank you for my coffee. You're so quiet. I got coffee. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. Stop it. You can lock it. Hey. All right, close that door. She can stay in here with me. Chloe Ann, stop. She's like my protector. Okay. Okay, thank you. That's Everly, though. You don't have to be mean. No, she's not. Chloe's more scared of her than anything. She just waltzed right in. I could kind of see her for right now. We're gonna soundproof these doors, but I am gonna take a quick break. Victoria, thank you. She's amazing. I hope Everly has a wonderful day. She was like quick, and I was like, I hope you have a wonderful day. So thank you to my little Everly. Okay, see, this is why she can't be in here because she's just gonna pull every cord. But I'm gonna take a quick break. So that way I can get this pup to skedaddle out here. I'm going to switch the app back over to music. So if you guys want to listen to a couple songs, hop over there because I'm not sure if I'm on the app right now. And I've been told that it's playing the old music. So that's going to be a Big Mama thing to fix today. I don't know why it would have switched back. But let's double check. While we're working to this, we're working on this together. But thank you guys for letting me know that, yeah, see, I'm not even on the app right now. We'll fix that today. Because last night when I tested, I was on the app. So weird. It's so weird. And then it's not playing anything that I'm playing over here, which makes me very mad. That's really weird. But anywho, so I wish that it was. See, and I generated a playlist and it's all of this music. Anywho, we will fix it, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. We will get it there, but I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick little break. You'll just have some background music on this. So I will be right back. I think I fixed the app.
Wait. Where y'all going?
You know I need you to stay.
Now back.
I think I fixed the app. I think. So, thank you for all sticking with me. It was a longer break than I intended. I'm sorry. I was sipping on my coffee. Thank you again, Victoria. I love you to absolute pieces for that. And I love to see my little girl first thing in the morning. Y'all know I have all boys. Okay. I have 3 boys. Oldest one is almost out of the house. Well, he's out of the house, but he's an adult. Okay. I'm saying he's almost an adult because, some kids take a little bit longer than others to figure life out, and that's okay, and he's figuring life out. He's doing great. He's actually working with my husband, Mike. It's Alex. I don't know if Mike turned us on this morning, but if he did, it's turning into a Davis family affair. And for that, I'm sorry. Not really. You get to deal with all of them. Not all of them quite yet, but you got a couple of them. But anyways, our oldest started working with my husband, and so he sees him every single day. And it was funny because for the first probably week, maybe week and a half, I noticed that because my husband's a coffee drinker too. He's a hot coffee drinker. I'm a both. I'm a 50-50. I primarily drink cold coffee more than I do hot coffee, but sometimes in the morning, especially if I know I'm going to be talking, I like to have at least to warm up those pipes, And so anyways, I noticed that, and he makes a big, like 30-ounce cup of coffee in the morning. And I noticed one morning he was walking out with 2 like Yeti cups, like they're the metal ones. They're not really Yeti ones. But anyways, he was walking out with 2 cups of coffee. And I'm like, why are you drinking 2 cups of coffee? Like, that's a lot. He's like, no, this one's for Ethan. And I was like, he's drinking coffee? Like, what? Like every once in a while, like when he lived at home, when he was in high school and stuff, he'd make a cup of coffee and whatnot. But I was like, he's drinking coffee? And he's like, yeah, he keeps stealing. He kept asking, hey, Dad, can I have a sip of your coffee? Hey, Dad, can I have a sip of your coffee? And he's like, and then I'd go back to my coffee and it would be all gone. So he said, I just might as well make him a cup of coffee in the morning. Well, excuse me. This went on for like a week. And I'm like, all right. I was like, we are going to teach our son to be a grown adult and make his own coffee in the morning. Not that it was hard for my husband, but it's kind of hard for me because now I'm washing double of dishes. So anyway, so I went out. I was a great mom. I went and I bought him a coffee maker, a nice one. I bought him a coffee maker. I bought him, some Folgers because that's what him and my husband both drink. And I got him some sugar. I couldn't get him the creamer and the half and half because there's no way to keep it cold. So anyways, I went and did all that. And so we gave that to him Friday at work. So yesterday, I forgot to ask my husband last night, like, did he come with his coffee? Like, did he actually wake up in the morning and make it? But he definitely, learned. But what I was going with is, so I have him, then I have Colin, who will be 17 in 2 months. That is my baby. He will forever be my baby. If you've ever met Colin and it's been a while, he is now a giant. He's 6'7". Yes, you heard that right. He towers over me. He's 6'7", 17. And he's still trying to figure out life too. Like it's a constant battle with him. As it is, if you're a mom or a dad of teenagers, right? You know how that goes. So he's figuring life out. And then we have our littlest one who will be 4 in a month, our little Mason. And so I have all boys. So my best friend, Victoria, her daughter, Everly, is like my daughter. If she pops back in the chat, she will tell you I spoil that little girl rotten, and I love to spoil her. Anytime I'm at the store and I see something, because her and I like the same things, we're girls. And so if I see something and I know she'll like it, I pick it up and then I give it to her. So that was who she was. Very shy. She would not come anywhere near around. So, and I'm one that I will not put a child on the camera unless their parents give me the okay, which I'm sure Victoria would have been like, yeah, put her on there. Like, let her shine. But they brought me coffee this morning. So thank you for that. She knows the way to my heart, which is Dunkin'. And she knows that this was her drink. So just so you know, like I usually I started with the Dunkin' Lattes. If you haven't tried the Dunkin' Latte, try the Dunkin' Latte. I've always loved the pumpkin spice. I'm a pumpkin spice girl. I think Victoria and I were like on the phone with each other, like pumpkin spice comes out today, pumpkin spice. And just so you guys know, I tried to find an orange mic cover for Halloween, but it was weird. It was like back order for like, and it wouldn't get here till after Halloween, which I guess I could still use for Thanksgiving. But we're purple right now for Halloween. And if you didn't know, October is. Everyone knows it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which I'm not taking away from that, right? Because my favorite color is pink, and I breast cancer is very near and dear as far as it goes with my family, because I've had 3 out of my dad's 5 sisters who have had some form of breast cancer, and my Auntie Donna having it the worst. And they are all, thank God, in remission. They've been in remission for years, but I know that so many suffer from it. And it's something that my doctor yells at me probably every single year when I go in, and she's like, "Did you get that blood test done?" And I say, no. I, I'm one that I make sure that everyone else is good, and myself, I kind of just like, no, I'm not going to go do that. So it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but something that's even more that weighs a lot on me. If you know me personally, you kind of know my story, and maybe sometime this month I will share my story. But October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month as well. And purple is primarily the color that is associated with that. So it's kind of, for Halloween and for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I'm going to try and switch them up every single month to kind of fit in. I'd love if I can find one that is like really Christmas themed, but we'll work on that. But just so you guys know, you'll see that this is going to change sporadically. I like to have a little bit of fun, and so that's one thing that I can do. So anyways, I totally got thrown off. I don't know. I did fix the music on the app. Okay. So I did. I text Jason and I was like, I don't know what happened, but I fixed it. Okay. I took a long break and I apologize again, but I fixed it. Okay. So one thing fixed. The music on the app is now back to what it's supposed to be. I don't know what happened there. We'll figure out exactly what happened, but we definitely got that fixed. I don't know if I'm live over on the app. I haven't checked yet. I do know that I got the music fixed. That's one thing. So I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. So let's just see if you hear it. We are. We're live on the app now. Okay. Whew. That makes sense because this is working. So thank you. See, prayers are answered. Okay. I had prayed and I was like, oh, Lord, please, because I don't know what happened. It was working last night, but I know that you're just going to give me the ways to make it work, and it worked. So there you go. We got that figured out, and I'm thankful for that because that's one less stress in the day. But anywho, I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. I do want to, I know a lot of you that are listening, I hope at least, are on your way to work, or maybe you just got to work. So I wanted to give you guys a little prayer if you are going to work or if you're at work. And I'm going to change up a little bit too, because I know that a lot of us are, well, not a lot of us, because I'm not, but maybe you are. We have some parents that are driving their kiddos to school, and so I'm going to incorporate this a little bit. I'm going to change it up because it does say Tuesday prayer before work, but we're going to change it to a Tuesday prayer before work and school, because we've got a lot of kiddos that are in school or going into, or that, I mean, high school kids, at least here in Southwest Florida, have already started, but I know our elementary is gearing up to be hitting those classrooms. And then soon after it will be our middle schoolers. So Heavenly Father, I give you all that I am this day. Please brush away my weariness so that I might be inspired in my work or in my school. Help me to discover new ways to reveal your love to all that I meet. keep my mind clear and focused on all that I need to achieve, and give me the wisdom to overcome difficulties and find solutions. I look to you and trust you that you are with me on this day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So I hope that all the little kiddos and big kiddos that are heading off to school have a safe, prosperous, and is it Carice? Please tell me I'm saying that right. I'm horrible with names. I'm sorry, but I hope that I'm saying your name right. Good morning. But all the kiddos that are heading off to school, I hope that you guys have a great day. And that you remember, if you're listening, if you're going to school, remember just to be kind to somebody, right? Just be kind. You never know what somebody perfect. I'm glad I got your name right. You never know what someone's going through, right? I know I'm one that I wear a smile on my face, and even in my darkest days, which brings me to whether you're on, the whatever side you're on. One thing that happened, and I'll go a little personal. Last month, my son and I, my middle son, I have to say my middle, Colin and I, we headed back to my home state of Connecticut for my dad's service. So my dad passed away in February, and he is primarily buried at Sarasota National Cemetery, which if you've never been to a national cemetery, I encourage you, no matter where you're listening from, whether if you're here in Southwest Florida or if you're listening from another state, look up a national cemetery, not a state. States are beautiful, but national cemeteries. Look up a national cemetery. And I encourage you to take your kids and just go and walk around and just experience it, as it is, a final resting place for those of, our servicemen and women who have passed on, whether they've made the ultimate sacrifice or, they're like my father who was a veteran and lived out his life. Selena, my dad could actually have been buried in Arlington because he was a Purple Heart recipient and fought in the Vietnam War. But before, when he had a stroke back in 2018. And though he lived quite a few years afterwards, we had always had that talk. It's something that, you couldn't bear. But it's something that you can't explain to go into a national cemetery. After my dad passed, he initially wanted to go up to Cape Canaveral. And if you're from this area, Cape Canaveral is about a 4-hour at least drive there. And then you have that trip back. And so you're spending 8 hours in the car driving. And, and he wanted to go there because my ex that I had, good morning, Travis. My ex that I was with before I met my husband, he had tragically passed away at the age of 27, very unexpectedly. He was a veteran himself, and he was buried up in Cape Canaveral. And my dad and I went to his service, and it's a beautiful cemetery. I will not take away from that cemetery. It's absolutely stunning. And that was really the only national cemetery here in Florida that my dad went to. And I think that my dad had that impression that was the only one. But anyways, after my dad's passing, I knew his wishes. I knew that he wanted to go to a national cemetery. He did not want to go back to Connecticut because they have a family plot there. He did not want to go back there. He wanted to be here, and he wanted to be at a national cemetery. He wanted to go to Cape Canaveral. But me, again, I was being a bit selfish, but I am one that I like to go to the cemetery. I don't have that honor with my mom. When we were back up there, I got to take my son, who my mom never got to meet any of my children. But I got to take my son up to the cemetery, and that was the first time that I seen my mom since she had, to the cemetery since she had passed. And it'll be 20 or 19 years this month. So it goes to tell you how long. But anyways, take your kids to a national cemetery. They're beautiful. You can't explain them. But anyways, when we were, I had a story. Listen, okay. I get, I get rattle brained, and I keep vomiting words at the mouth. But I promise I have a story. So anyways, when we went back to Connecticut, where I was going with all this is, we had learned about Charlie Kirk's death we had a little memorial service for my dad on the 10th that morning. And then the whole plan was was that my son and I were going to spend September 11th in New York City. I haven't been to New York City since I was a little kid. He's never been. And I'm like, well, we're here, you know? And so I want to do something that's, fun and gives him an experience because he's going to be an adult in a little over a year. And then I'm not going to have much more time, like this one-on-one. So we learned about Charlie Kirk's death as I was driving to New York City. And my son had told me about it. And he told me that, he had been shot. The news was saying that, he was still alive. So we were very hopeful, right? I was like, oh, okay. Didn't know the severity of it. Anyways, learning about that. And then I unfortunately saw the video, which I'm sure many of you listening also saw the video. And I didn't expect it to be that graphic. And I did not expect to wear my emotions so much. We were in the hotel room in the Bronx because, where else are you going to stay when you're in New York City? I wanted to stay right in the Bronx. We're New York Yankees fans. Yeah, you can see that up there. We're New York Yankees fans, thanks to my dad. So we're in the Bronx, got in the hotel room. I am dead tired because, for one, I thought the brainiac idea of let's drive around the city. I never complain about Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Southwest Florida traffic ever again after that experience with my son being in New York City, driving around. I've got people yelling at me, which I thought I had road rage. Okay. That's one thing that I've been trying to work on is my road rage. And I thought I had road rage because I am a New Englander. My husband will tell you whenever anything happens that, we're watching a show and it's the person's from Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, anything like that. He's like, there's your people. There's your people. And I guess we have this kind of, stigma about us that we're these, loud, which we are, and we yell and all these things. But New York takes the cake. But anyways, I had the brainiac idea that we were going to drive around and see the city, which it was great, but it was bumper to bumper traffic. And when you're not really sure of where you're going, it turns into a whole thing. You've only been to Arlington, Travis? Well, I don't know where you're living at currently. You don't have to say in the chat, but look up a national cemetery that's near to you or near you and go. When I go visit, I'm getting sidetracked, but that's okay. This is life. After my dad passed, I looked up national cemeteries and I seen that Sarasota was obviously the closest. And then there's one in Bay Pines where they have the big VA hospital here locally in Southwest Florida. And I went to Sarasota and I remember when you pull in, it's absolutely breathtaking. Like I can't even explain it. There's just so much, wildlife around you. They have these two huge retention ponds on both sides. Sorry, you're going to hear the dogs bark again. I'm going to assume Amazon's here. It's definitely got to be Amazon. I'm sorry. Yep, it is. She'll stop here in a second. Chloe's just saying good morning to everybody. So hopefully she doesn't get your dogs up in a tizzy because she has a tendency to do that. But anyways, when I walked into the cemetery, like obviously I told you guys, like my dad had his plan, but for me, I was being somewhat selfish and I wanted him closer so I could visit him. Chloe Ann. Usually if I say her name one time, she stops. But I walked in and I said, okay, Dad, I just need you to give me a sign if this is okay. If this is okay, if this can be your final resting place and that I can have the opportunity and that the boys, meaning our kids, can have the opportunity to come and see you, because it's a closer drive. You just got to give me a sign. And like I said, I'm originally from Connecticut. We lived in Ohio for 15 years-ish. I mean, I was about in third grade, I think, when we moved. And, I went through high school and everything. Oh, Selena. Hey, listen, sometimes you need a really good cry. I can't believe that I'm making through this without crying. Because I'm usually a very, very emotional person. And Selena, stick around because I'm going to read you something. Because I know that you're going through grieving and the whole process because we're pretty much right on that boat together. Um, but when I moved down here to Florida, one thing that I noticed, especially here in Southwest Florida, especially Cape Coral, is I don't hear a lot of birds, right? And my dad was one, he could whistle, right? And he could do all the little bird chirps and all that. And he kind of taught me some of those things, when I was growing up and stuff. But he could whistle really good. And I have a video of it and I'll post it so you guys can, hear it and kind of get the feel. But I was walking around, excuse me, and Sarasota is gorgeous. It has a big amphitheater. And I know that next month I want to go up on Veterans Day because they do a whole big service there in that amphitheater. But I was walking around and I came up to a tree that's kind of just on the outside of the theater. And I just heard all these birds chirping, just like singing away, going. And I was like, okay, Dad, that was my sign. He gave me that sign. And it was a beautiful experience. And I love that he is up there. It's just, I love that he's up there. I wish that I had him still, but you guys know what I'm saying. I love that cemetery is absolutely, it's just breathtaking. And it doesn't matter. Even me at that time, my dad wasn't buried there yet. And I just felt this over sensing feeling of calmness there, and it wasn't so much, there was some sorrow because you're reading some of these headstones and you're seeing some of these individuals and that, that these are servicemen and women who some of them died for our country. Some of them, seen, war. Some of them were injured in war, like my father. And but even with all of that, you just have this overwhelming overwhelming feeling of just peace and calmness. And so I encourage you guys, I love to go up there and I bring my chair. Some people that come just to, they have just, they know that a loved one's buried there. They just, they come and they go. I sit there in my chair. I've even got an umbrella for the hot days. My husband has a DeWalt fan that he uses for work that's battery operated. I bring that there too. Okay. So Dad and I can stay cool when we're hanging out together. But, it's a great experience. So even if you just drive through, right? Or yes, Carice, did I say that right again? That is where. So the coins have special meanings. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I was sitting there one day and the rows are just, you have rows of white headstones. That's in a national cemetery or even a state cemetery. If it's a veteran, primarily, that it's a serviceman or man or woman because their headstone is that beautiful white marble. They're very plain, but they're there for a reason. And the coins have special meaning. And I was sitting there and I always bring pennies to my dad. Pennies are for anyone. You can go to any, veteran's gravesite and leave a penny. And I'm going to pull it up so I don't mess it up completely, because I pretty much know it by heart, but I want to make sure. So a penny is just for anyone that you're just honoring them. You're thanking them because they served. And, that's pretty much it. Where is, hold on. Okay. Here we go. The coin's left. This coffee is huge. It's in my way. So the penny just signifies that anyone, veteran or civilian, has visited the grave. So I like to do something very special when I go and visit my dad is I try and look through my pennies and call you Carrie. Oh, why did I not recognize your name? I am such a butthead. I love you. Pennies is anyone. So for my dad, I try and look at the pennies and I look at the, see, I don't get to see your pictures. If I saw your picture, I would know exactly who you were. I look at the dates. And so I try and bring a date that is something very meaningful, right? So, birth years, stuff like that. Okay. And so I leave those. A nickel signifies the coin left is somebody that has attended boot camp with the veteran that they're visiting. It's one of those days, Carrie. It's one of those days. Everything was just not cooperating with me this morning. I finally got the app fixed. Because that was not working this morning and it was playing old music, and then my printer was not working. It's been a mess, okay? But we're getting through it. So bear with me. My mind is just like, I'm everywhere. But a nickel means that you attended boot camp with the veteran. A dime signifies that the person that left the coin served with the veteran in some sort of capacity. And then the quarter is the one that if you ever walk past a grave of a veteran and you see a quarter, I promise you the first time you see it, it will stop you in your tracks and it'll probably bring you to your knees, because that means that the person that left that coin was present with the veteran when they died. So excuse me, obviously, that one holds a little bit more like of a, whew, it kind of puts you into perspective, like, that this person, excuse me, had, passed away in combat or whatever the case. And that, somebody came there to pay their respects that was there. And that is a tough thing to see, whether in any capacity, right? Death is a very hard thing. It's something that I'm still working through every single day. Yes, Selena, if you didn't know that, that is what they are. So I always bring my coins, like I said, whenever, which I don't use cash very much anymore. But even so, like, I'll go and I'll get a roll of pennies from the bank, just so I have them. But I try and go through them, like I said, and find specific. And a lot of times they're not there when I come by. The rain, the wind, whatever, it'll knock them off. But anyways, when I was visiting my dad, I think it was on Father's Day. Father's Day was obviously a little bit more busy, so to speak, at the cemetery, which is a weird thing to say, but there was a lot more people there. And a couple rows, and I'm pretty good that, like, I've been there a lot now, and I'm not a seasoned person, when it comes to Sarasota National Cemetery, but I feel like I am. It's weird, but when I'm there, like, I know what my dad, because all the headstones are late, numbered in their sections. And so I know what my dad's number is. I know where I'm at. So I know where, most of them are. They're close to my dad's number. And so someone will be looking and I'll be like, which number are you looking for? Oh, you want to go that way. So I kind of feel like, I'm like a little concierge. So I sit there a lot with my dad. So I was sitting there on Father's Day and I had already brought my pennies up. And I think on Father's Day, I tried to leave like 5 of them. I think I couldn't find one of the boys' birth years, but I tried to leave all of our birth years for him on Father's Day. And I have like a little, it's, the whatever gum comes in that little plastic container. I keep all my change in there. And so anyways, there was this family that walked past me and there was like, and I'm assuming like a grandma, grandpa, a woman, her husband, and a young child. And the girl was probably 6, 7, 8 years old. And they were over there at the grave and, Dad and I were just hanging out. And, obviously they're very taken back by whoever they're visiting. They're crying and they're visibly upset. And so I seen that the grandfather, I'm assuming grandfather, he was an older gentleman, walked past me and was going to their car. And something just came over me to say, go get some pennies. I don't know what, I don't know who, I don't know what I had, like what spoke to me, but someone spoke to me and said, go get them pennies. And so I went out to my car and there was 5 of them, but I only had 4 pennies on me. And I was like, dang it. I was really mad because I wanted that 5th penny. I wanted each of them to have a penny. So I found 4. So when the gentleman was walking back, I said, "Excuse me." I said, "I don't know if you know the meanings behind the coins that you see." And obviously, on the top of my dad's headstone, I had my 5 pennies, and I explained to him about what the penny means because I'm assuming that most everyone there, is somebody that's just visiting. Is not has not served with them, but if they had, at least they would know. And so I had explained to them, just like I did with you guys, what the penny meant and all the different coins. And I said, so here, I said, I only have 4, unfortunately. I said, I wish I had 5, but I wanted to give these to you so that way you could leave them at your loved one's headstone. And he was absolutely in tears. And then he had me in tears. And I was like, I didn't want to cry anymore. Like, I've already been crying all morning because it's my first Father's Day without my dad. But I just wanted to do something, it was just like my calling, I guess, that day. And so he was calling and he thanked me very much. And then when they left, of course, I'm still sitting there with dad because, when I go up there, I spend some time with him. We hang out, we talk about everything and anything. And I always make jokes, because I feel like everyone grieves differently, but sometimes with mine, I bring a little bit of laughter in. And so I'll joke and I'm like, damn, dad, you're very quiet today. Like, can you say something back to me? But, and all jokes aside, but they had walked back after they were leaving and they were all visibly in tears. And even, hi, Betty. And even the young little girl that was with them was in tears, and she came up and she goes, "Can I give you a hug?" And I said, "Of course." And she gave me a huge hug. And then they all thanked me and they said that it was absolutely beautiful and that they did not know about the coins and that they were so appreciative that they learned about that today. And I was like, well, I'm happy that I could teach you something. And it was just something that came over me. Like I said, I don't know what it was, but something was telling me that I needed to do that for you guys today. So I said, if anything, just pass it along when you know, when you meet somebody or if you're back up here again and you see somebody else struggling, just pass it along. So I just always say, like, when someone's like, oh, your dad's buried in National Cemetery, and I'll always tell them, yes, and make sure that you go and visit